So in this video, I want to talk about a few games that I've been playing recently that maybe I haven't talked about. And the first one is Persona 5 Strikers, which I really love the whole Persona environment, the whole world that they build up. And so when Persona 5 Strikers was actually available, I was super excited to play it. Now, I'll be honest, it got really wordy for me. Like, it is a very long game, and some of it does feel kind of drugged out a little bit. And I guess what I mean by that is, like in Persona 5, there's a lot of dialogue, but a lot of it is relevant, and it's stuff that you maybe have a say into or you have an impact. There's moments that are interpersonal and other moments that are captured in the game that have a lot to do with the dialogue and make it very relevant. In this one, it seems like they might have just thrown dialogue in there to further explain a situation that possibly doesn't need it. I enjoy the combat, and as for button mashy as it is, and yes, button mashy is a word, there is a little bit of, I don't know, nuance, some complexity to the battle system that's pretty cool. And so I do enjoy the game. Finally getting through it. Again, I would say the first half of it really felt like a chore to me. The second half and in the middle has been really good. It's been a lot to enjoy. And the very last part of the game, I'll be honest, it's getting to be like a chore again. Again, just very dialogue heavy. And it's interesting because I'm a person who loves JRPGs, and everything that Atlas has done, I've been a pretty big fan of, but this just kind of drags out and doesn't really explore characters, or it doesn't explore a situation a lot. It just seems to be like the back and forth is expanded, and it doesn't really need to be, if that makes sense. But I am enjoying it. It's just not a game that I'm always excited to play, and now it feels just more like something I need to do now that I'm probably an hour or two away from finishing it. Now, the other game that I've been playing that has really been making it difficult for me to finish reviews or do anything else, and a game that I guess I must have missed, because I really didn't hear about it. It went on sale, and then I saw a lot of people saying, like, oh, this has got Game of the Year, and it's a really great game. But the game is Children of Morta. Never played it. Honestly, didn't really hear about it. I know it's crazy because this game is so addictive. This has that like rogue style, but instead of beating you down every time you die, they actually help you gain more power. You get more money. You can upgrade your armor, upgrade your attack, upgrade your spells, your swiftness. The charms that you get can do more. Can either be more sustained or more powerful. At the same time, you also unlock a ton of different characters. Now, the story, from what I can tell, and I don't know where I'm at. Like, I don't know how long the game is. I'm like in the third level. But the story that I can tell is that there is a family, the Burgeons, I believe is their name, and they're kind of tasked with having to quell this corruption in this like cavern that is below their house. And I know there's a lot to it because the entire family has like some sort of ability. You know, the little girl's like a wizard. I think the dad kind of character is like a knight. Brother, uncle is like a monk. A ninja. There's a whole ton of characters that you kind of continue to unlock, and I haven't unlocked them all yet. But I'll just say that like the gameplay itself and the controls, the graphics, the whole outlay of it is just so addictive. I have played 2 or 3 hours at a time when I knew I should have been doing something else. Like, I have a review to get to. I need to get her to, Forza Horizon or whatever. And I just keep going back to Children of Morta. It is such a great game. I really can't explain, like, why it's such a big deal for me is because I don't like roguelike games. They kind of frustrate me and annoy me after a while. After, dying for the 500th time, I'm just like, well, you're making me weaker. How am I going to get better? Anyway, really enjoyed that. The other one that I've gotten to recently is kind of a crazy game for me because I would say my favorite games series-wise is Final Fantasy, Legend of Zelda, and then you can kind of, pick a few games after that. But the major series, Final Fantasy, is my favorite game. I have never beaten Final Fantasy 9. I've gotten to the end. I've gotten to where you're fighting off against Tiamat, and I believe really, really close to the end boss, but I never actually got there. Now, when I was playing it the first time, I had an issue with the memory card. You remember back in the day, the PS1, memory cards were not super reliable, and every now and then it would wipe your memory, and that's what happened. And in that run, I had like 80, 90 hours. Like, I unlocked so much stuff, did so much of the side quests. I think I just did everything that I could. I explored, and the real kick in the gut when I turned it on and the save file was not there. So I kind of gave up. It turned into one of those things where I'm like, I enjoyed my time there, but I don't feel like going back and doing it all over again. Now, through the years, they've made re-releases and stuff like that, and I've tried here and there, but I still just feel kind of like I know so much about this game already. And I don't know, the desire to know the end didn't outweigh the desire to spend another, whatever, 40, 50 hours playing the game. And I really didn't feel like I just want to run through it either. I wanted to enjoy my time playing it again. Like, why play a game if you don't enjoy it? Just watch the ending on YouTube. It's not that big of a deal. But recently, I kind of fired it up and discovered I was enjoying it. And it's been long enough now that I've forgotten quite a bit about it. So it is kind of like playing it again. And I don't know, it's been really cool. It's been kind of like going back into, a memory lane, but kind of forgetting some of it. And so, still kind of a new adventure, if you will. Now, anyway, so those are just a few of the games in my backlog that I've been going through. And I'm kind of curious, like, what games do you have in your backlog that you're interested in going through, or that you're currently going through? Or some of those, like, where you just kind of see the emblem, and you're like, man, I need to play that game. I really need to. Another one for me that I really need to get to is Xenoblade 2. Like, I, for some reason, just have not played it yet. I mean, I've played it probably 10 or 15 hours, but not the rest. So, yeah, I'm just kind of curious what games you have that kind of haunt you, if you will. Every time you go to buy a new game, or you look at something else, and you're like, I still haven't played that one. Anyway, kind of curious what your backlog is. Anyway, I do want to say this. Now, this video is about a week old. I should have released it last week. Didn't do the audio until just yesterday because I got sick. I've not been doing great. A lot of congestion. Nothing bad, like not COVID, no pneumonia or bronchitis, which is going around apparently. I don't even know if that you can catch it like that. I have no idea how bronchitis works, but something of that nature, of just so much congestion and just not feeling up to it. It doesn't make sense. I have this video ready to go. I need to do this video. And I kind of had this video set out because it was kind of a dead week last week. Like, if you weren't doing Animal Crossing stuff, there wasn't much to talk about. So that kind of made sense. Like, I'll do a backlog video. But now, this week, we've got a lot to talk about. So I'm starting off this week with a backlog video, which doesn't really make sense because there is a lot going on. But anyway, check it out tomorrow. I will be releasing my thoughts on Forza Horizon 5, which is a great game. I have some reviews on that. Been playing that this weekend, really enjoying it. Anyway, guys, have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.